Hey everybody, and welcome to my very first Canadian comic book spotlight. Before we get started, I'm going to take advantage of one thing I don't get to do very much down here in the good old US of A, and that is I'm going to fly my flag proudly. Here it is, the good red and white and the beautiful maple leaf. But, you know, I always try and represent. There's my nice toque. And you might see up in the corner there, you see a foot on that picture, and you might say, hey, that looks like Superman. And you know what? It is. But hopefully you also know that Joe Shuster, one of the creators of Superman, was from Toronto, Ontario. So, hey, another fellow Canadian tied to one of the most iconic comic book characters around. Now, Canada has a great history of comic books dating back into the Golden Age. Actually, the very first female superhero was a Canadian superhero, Nelvana of the North. We also had great comic book characters like Brock Windsor, Mr. Monster. We had Johnny Canuck. We had a lot of great ones that ran in your daily comic book strips. But I think today to start, I'm going to have to focus on the book that really brought Canadian comic books back. And this was back in the 70s. And it was definitely Captain Canuck #1 from July 1975. Character Captain Canuck's created by Ron Leishman, but the story and all the art is done by Richard Comley. He's really the one that is looked at as being Captain Canuck, the origin, the man behind it. And of course, it was produced by Comley Comics. So I've actually got a really good copy of Captain Canuck #1. Typically don't bring it out of the bag and board, but I'm going to bring it here and show you. It's pretty nice. I like it. So really, to kind of go over the story, this is our introduction to Captain Canuck, and he works for CISO, which is the Canadian Intelligence Service Organization, and his partner is Blue Fox. And if you're current on anything Captain Canuck, you know that Blue Fox is his enemy. At this point, they don't realize that he's actually an undercover agent of an evil country that he was placed undercover a long time ago, like a sleeper agent. So basically what's happened is there's an Arctic base up in the Arctic Circle that is hit by rockets and it explodes, and it forces Captain Canuck and Blue Fox to go investigate. So they land up there, they get on their snowmobile, and they're riding up to the base, and of course, you just can't have it easy. Their snowmobile gets in an accident. So now they have to run 14 miles. Well, while they're running, it just can't be two super soldiers running through the wilderness. They run into some trouble in the form of a polar bear, because, I mean, they're in the Arctic, right? I mean, hey. So, as you see, they meet a Inuit man who helps them out here. He helps them, shows them the way, and after they're done fighting the polar bear. So they get to the base, and of course they need to find a way to stop the missiles, and at that point Blue Fox shows his true stripes, his true colors, and whacks Captain Canuck from behind, knocks him out, and Captain Canuck wakes up a little while later, and he's confronted by all these evil agents that are trying to take over Canada. And they are using the threat of the missiles as a way to basically force all of the Canadians to be under their power. So Captain Canuck can't have that, and of course he has a giant battle. So I'll show you what that looks like. So he pounds on everybody, does a good number on them, and you find out that they really didn't want to let off the missiles, but there's nothing they can do. It looks like it's going to be too late. But of course, we're talking about Captain Canuck. We're not talking about any regular superhero. And Captain Canuck, of course, saves the day, and in the end starts off, you know, what are we, 41 years of the history of Captain Canuck. In the back of all the books, you had the saga of John. I'm not going to really go into that, but John was another one of their characters that they would have these little mini episodes in the back. But really, that's all I wanted to talk about today. You know, if you have any questions, please let me know. You can always get a hold of me at uh, on Twitter at Canuck_LV, or you can get a hold of us at mail@chubbywizard.com, or you can comment on the link below here. You can comment and let me know what you think, or if you have any questions. I'd love to hear what you think. This is going to be a regular kind of deal, so I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Bye.